What's up, my good people, and welcome back in to the Bully Ball Show on Sparks TV. As always, I'm your host, Nino Sparks, aka the Mid Range Bully. Now, we here, people. The season is here. The actual season is here. No more meaningless games. No more random locations, Palm Springs, Palm Desert, or whatever it is. Fucking Abu Dhabi, you name it, China. They're all over the place, people. We're here. It's back. The best month of sports is back. We got actual NBA action coming up right now in the next 24 hours. So, I want to talk about the home team, my Los Angeles Lakers. But as always, before we get started, two things. Happy belated birthday to myself and all my Libras out there, October babies, Libra gang, gang, gang. Just celebrated a birthday. Happy birthday to me. Love me. Couldn't do it without me. Just came from the gym. I don't know if you just heard my stomach growl, but hey, we got to get this shit cracking. I wanted to do it. Wanted to give y'all a quick vid. Jump right in. So, before we get started, if it's your first time tapping in, or maybe you tapped in a few times, go ahead, tap that like, tap that subscribe, tap that notification bell, stay tapped in. Let's get this shit, people. The Los Angeles Lakers. What do we need to see this season from the Los Angeles Lakers to be successful, to call it a successful season? We know what we want. We want a championship. Now that might seem like pie in the sky, but it's the Lakers. It doesn't matter who's on the team. When we had that guy, it didn't matter who was on the team. Now we got LeBron. It don't matter who's on the team. We expect him to win every year because he's that damn good. He expects to win every year because he's that damn good. And him and Anthony Davis have not disappointed. They picking up right where they left off. They look even better than last season. It started in the Olympics. You could see it off the rip. Not only was they the best individual play, they was the best duo on the court at all times. You needed them to close the show at all times. Now you've seen Steve Kerr get cute. We knew he wasn't gonna put my guy AD in the starting lineup because he don't want LeBron and AD to have that kind of momentum going into the season. He got to see us 4 times in the regular season, and probably gonna have to see us in the playoffs at some point. But it don't matter because the king and the bride, they look fucking tremendous. So I'm expecting tremendous things. Now, currently, the odds makers have the Lakers winning about 43 games. I'm taking the over on that like a motherfucker, as I would any other season. We're going to be a 50-win team. I could see them closing out at maybe 47, 49 games at the least. But a 50-win team. Because teams like OKC, they looking like a 60-win team, if we're being honest. Now, we still got to see it in the playoffs, but when it comes to the regular season, they look that good. And we know, I think Hartenstein just sustained an injury. I'm not sure exactly what it was, what his injury is, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, he got injured. So we're going to see a lot more Chet at the 5. They brought in Hartenstein, so Chet could play the 4 mainly. He was getting busted up at the 5. But him playing the 5, it's really only a few guys you got to worry about. Yoke, who's in the conference with him. AD, who's in the same conference with him. Outside of that, Sabonis, of course, big Sabonis can't. Outside of that, Wemby. Him and Wemby kind of stack up, and they're going to be going back and forth for years. But we'll see. OKC, they still look like they could be a 60-win team, at least 55, 56 wins. If they stay healthy, of course, which is every damn team. But outside of them, T-Wolves look like they could be a 50-something win team, especially with what they added. Dallas looks like a 50-win team. And, of course, my Lakers. Everybody else, big question marks. Denver, big question marks. Sorry. Still not sold on Jokic being a 3-time MVP. Sorry. Can't get down with it. Him winning MVP is one thing. But them deeming him the best player in the league, you can't be the best player in the league and not play defense. I'm sorry. When James Harden won the MVP, was he the best player in the world? No. They wasn't calling him that. They was calling him the best offensive player, maybe ever. Which is crazy because how they talk about him now. I could see him putting the Clippers on his shoulders and having a bounce back season, an MVP type season. We'll jump into that later. But when it comes to the Lake Show, the big question mark is the starting lineup. And I'm going to continue to do videos on the starting lineup because I'm not sold on that being the starting lineup. It might be to start games, but Max Christie is definitely coming for a spot. I don't know if it's Rui's spot, because at some point, JJ, him being the first year head coach, you don't want to ruffle too many feathers right off the rip, because that first 10 games, that can spiral, and you can be fucking 2-8, you can be 0-10, especially being in the West. Or you can be 5-5, which is just as worse, in my opinion. So of course he said, I'm going with the starting lineup from last season, because that puts everybody's minds at ease. Now, we've had a little sample size. They didn't all play too much in the preseason, but we see the same issues as last season. The transition defense. Now, how is it that the two older guys on the court are getting up faster than the two younger guys that's your backcourt? Because they're fleet of foot, whatever the saying is. They're flat-footed than a motherfucker. They can't get up and down that fast. That's not what they do. You can't have two guys as your starting backcourt and both of them are slow. It just doesn't work. Look at Sacramento with Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if Malik Monk's going to be coming off the bench, but even him and DeRozan can get up and down. Curry is going to get up and down with Buddy Hield. Denver added Westbrook because of that reason. Because they know they point center is slow. Jamal Murray ain't the fastest up the court. So you go get a guy who's going to run it up. Clippers, even with James Harden, they going to get up and run. And if that's going to be our backcourt, then that's the book. The people are just going to be, that's going to be the playbook against the Lakers. It's like, all you got to do is run up and down, and you can get them off. You can get them out of there. Because they're not that fast. Which is why Max Christie needs to be in the starting lineup, because Rui's not that fast either. And Rui has a lot of mental lapses on the defensive end for some reason. He's just not as engaged as he is on the offensive end. Which is a lot of players, because you want to score the ball. And he's not no shot blocker or ball stopper or anything of that nature. So you're still running into the same problems. You had this whole JJ scheming up, oh, guys are going to crash the glass. I ain't seen none of that. I ain't seen Rui corner crashing. Sometimes it's just not what a guy does. And again, no disrespect to Cam Reddish. He don't need to be getting minutes. You know what I'm saying? I say no disrespect and then say something disrespectful. Hey, man, it is what it is. I don't want the guy to, not have a career, be successful. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen enough last season, throughout your career. We've seen enough in preseason. We don't need to see him. He's not a guy that's ever, I don't think he's ever going to be a guy that's hitting shots from the corner. That's not his game. His game was taking motherfuckers off the dribble and pulling up threes. Those are not the kind of looks that he's getting in any offensive set on a winning team. So that's what it's hard for him to be successful for whatever reason. And he's made it this far doing other things. Maybe he can continue to, hopefully he can continue to, find other ways to be successful on the court. But the way they're trying to play him is just, I'm tired of seeing the dude miss. It's time for some other guys to get minutes. One of those guys being Dalton Knecht. You know what I'm saying? And obviously Max Christie is going to be in that rotation. At some point, JJ, he's going to have that tough talk. He's going to have to pull, hey, this is what D'Lo, Reeves, this is what I need. You two as starters is us being a 7 seed. You two coming off the bench, we can probably win a championship. That's what it's going to have to come down to until one of them guys gets traded, unfortunately. Because at some point, the clear starting unit that I'm looking at is LeBron at the point, Max Christie is your 2, and then you go Dalton Knecht at the 3. He's coming for that starting lineup. I promise you that. Now JJ has said he ain't even gonna get minutes unless he defends. Off the rip, he looks like a better defender than D'Lo and Reeves. And that might just be a small sample size. That might be me just hyping them up. Hell, Austin Reeves and D'Lo, they could come out first game, they could light shit up and shut everybody up, including me. Or they can go out there and they can get fucked up by Ant-Man. They can get picked apart by DiVincenzo and McDaniels, who I think is going to continue to get better offensively. It'd be a better lineup, like I said, with LeBron, Christie, Dalton, Rui, and AD. That to me is a championship lineup. Because then off your bench, you got D'Lo, you got Reeves, you got Vando, who will eventually be back. You got Christian Wood, who will eventually be back. And then Jackson Hayes or Koloko, whoever looks better. So far, Jackson Hayes, no offense, he looks terrible. I'm not saying he's a terrible person or a terrible player. He looked great with New Orleans, but for whatever reason, he didn't play bad last season. But with this team, he's not what we need. You need a guy that can space the floor. Because even him running up and down, I seen him miss a layup. How you 7 feet tall and you missing layups? It's crazy. But that bench rotation, that'll be one of the top benches in the league, off the rip. Because then that backcourt of Reeves and D'Lo, you're not going up against the starters. Then we can sustain one of you guys having a bad night. You two as starters, it's more likely one of you has a bad night than both of you having a good night on a consistent basis. It just is what it is. And we need something more firepower coming off the bench, because right now, what we got, if you had to ask me, out of JHS, because Gabe Vincent, he can't play the point. That's been clear even in preseason. And he don't look like that good of a 2. JHS still does not look ready. He looked like he put on some muscle. He looked healthy. Those are 2 good signs. But does he look ready to be the backup point guard? No offense, he don't. I'd rather you play Bronny than him and Gabe Vincent, if we're being honest. So if that's where we at, DeLon Reeves. I get his starting lineup 10 games. I could be wrong. They go 10-0. They go 10-0. I won't do another video on the Lakers starting lineup. If they go 10-0, I won't do another video on the Lakers starting lineup as the roster is presently constructed. I'll leave that alone. I'll talk about other shit as far as the Lakers. But it's more likely that they go 5-5. Hell, even if they go 7-3, I'm gonna double back with another roster video. It really is more likely they go 5-5, and I can even see a scenario where they go 2-8, because Anthony Davis already looks frustrated with the starting unit. It's too many blown coverages. But we shall see tomorrow what this team looks like, what they made of. Like I said, DeLon Reed, they can go off like a motherfucker and shut everybody up. I'm giving it 10 games until they shake some shit up. But that's all I got for free. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do the Lakers need to switch this lineup up? No, that was a weird way to say it. Do they need to switch things up? Or can they get it done with what they got right now? Because we know a trade is imminent. We know they need a trade. That part we know. But how long until they have to? JJ said he only playing 9 guys. How long till you're looking at the end of the bench? How long till Max Christie makes his way to the starting lineup? How long till Dalton Knecht makes his way to the starting lineup? Hell, I could even see Christian Wood getting this some action. Jared Vanderbilt. They got a couple of options down the road. I get that shit 10 games. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to double back later. Peace.